At least get.
David Ortiz, he looked pretty
jazzed. I mean, he just overpowered him early, and that was really kind of a theme being set.
Pedro was the only other man to strike out the entire side in the first inning. And the top of the second inning, Vladimir Guerrero back, gone. So strikeouts gone. Lead.
Well, Penny made a mistake there, and he threw Vlad a pitch that wasn't in the strike zone.
Right. At 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, you throw it up there and out of the zone, he's going to whack it.
Best bad ball hitter in baseball.
So Vlad has the American League up 1-0. It's going to be more of the same. Kenny Rogers, the venerable one, the starter. And what a breakout couple of days here for David Wright. The right stuff again. Gone. Home run ties the game at 1. Top of the third, Mark get back Loretta against Roy Oswalt. Albert Pujols. Not quite Kevin Mitchell in the outfield, but bare hand anyway.
A little Omar Vizquel right there. The bare hand, it takes it himself to the bag.
Nice reaction play.
Bottom of the third inning, Carlos Beltran, who swung a big bat at single off Bry Halladay. And watch Vernon Wells. You're gone. Wells guns out Soriano at the plate.
Well, you're not going to find a better baseball play. You see Pudge block him out. You got a fast runner. Vernon Wells with a great throw. It's a great play.
Yeah, you just have to question the decision with this guy coming up. Why you would get someone thrown out at home?
Well, the next batter, Albert Pujols is up. Beltran steals third with nobody looking. And it was a big play because Halladay, it gets by Pudge. And the runner gunned out at the plate, but they get the run anyway.
And that's why you run in that situation, because he has the potential to bounce the ball in the dirt. When you got a guy that doesn't do that, you don't run.
Yeah, but Soriano stays. He scores on that play. Then Beltran gets the third with less than 2 outs.
After the fourth inning, Commissioner Bud Selig presenting a new award. There's Roberto Clemente's wife, Vera, on the field. His son's in the stands. Historic Achievement Award, and nobody better to get it than the late Roberto Clemente. Meanwhile, Pirates of the present, Freddie Sanchez robs Mark Loretta of a hit. A-Rod with a bobble. How about David Ortiz at first base, huh?
Flashing the leather, Big Poppy.
He could play over there if you let him play enough games.
Tejada and Rivera said, hey, he's all right over there. Top of the 8th inning, Grady Sizemore with the tying run at second. Grounds to Freddie Sanchez of the Pirates, and the National League keeps the lead at 2-1. 2 out, nobody on. Konerko singles his second hit of the game. Troy Glass, and oh, what a big break. If the ball hits the wall, it's going to be the tying double, but a ground rule double means runners at second and third.
Well, you got a hanging changeup right there and just banged it.
But then Michael Young, 2 out now, 2 on, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. 1 run is home. The lead run is home. Michael Young from Texas, steaming into third. AL with 2 in the 9th, and they lead it 3-2. Against Trevor Hoffman, who made all 3 assists, by the way, in that inning. But could the National League come back? Jose Lopez.
Well, you got a lot of guys playing out of position. Lopez, second baseman for the Mariners. He made a nice play early. This one here, Beltran hustling down, beats it out.
So Beltran aboard again, played the whole route with Beltran at second. Carlos Lee up, looking for the tire. But fittingly, the man who won the game with the triple squeezes the ball, and Mariano Rivera gets a save. He has 3 saves in All-Star competition, tying Dennis Eckersley for that record. And the American League has now gone a complete decade without losing. They win it by the count of 3-2 with 2 runs in the 9th inning. And another competitive game we had a couple of years ago was Texas, Hank Blaylock with the home run in Chicago. This time it's Texas, Michael Young with the 2-run triple here in the 9th inning. So, streaks. Well, now you can see the American League, which has won 9, also the tie from 97 to 06, is second all-time to the NL from 72 to 82. Of course, that NL was part of 19 of 20 from 1963 to 1982, but even when the National League, guys, has the game in hand, it takes a lot to break a long streak. And Crucky, you're scratching your head a little bit at things in the 9th, aren't you?
Yeah, it was a little suspect, Boomer. And I think what you look at in this game is what Phil Garner did in the 9th inning. If you're going to bring in your closer, who's not a strikeout guy, Trevor Hoffman, 35 innings, only 27 strikeouts this year, you better put your best defense in there to defend what's going to be a lot of contact, and he didn't do it. Now, here you see Jermaine Dye hits one off the end of the bat. He gets a little squibber back to Trevor. Miguel Tejada, basically the same thing on a changeup. He gets out in front, hits a little number back. back to him. And then here's where things start getting a little funny. Paul Konerko with the ball, it's hit. You'd have to think that Scott Rolen, if he was in the game, would make a play on that ball, at least knock it down, dive or whatever, and have a chance to throw Konerko out. And then that play right there, Andrew Jones, why is he not in the game and Beltran playing left field instead of Carlos Lee? And then all of a sudden, Michael Young hits that ball in the gap for the triple right there, and basically, the game's over because Mariano's coming in. But, again, Phil Gardner said he was playing this game to win, and everything led up to this game of being a win for the National League. And then when you put in your closer who doesn't strike men out, you better have your best defense. And I think Scott Rolen makes that play on Konerko. I don't know if Andrew Jones or Beltran makes a play in left field, but I do say this, they would have had a better chance than Carlos Lee.
And the interesting thing, Cabrera is a young third baseman. You saw how close he was playing, too. With 2 outs, you got to play a little deeper. Scott Rolen would have probably done that. But the thing I found interesting, it almost looked like everything was going to happen right for the National League. You saw the ball that Troy Glaus hits to left field. If that hits the wall, Lopez's pinch run, Ozzie made the right move there. They score a run. It bounces over. Right now, oh, it's changed. And then all of a sudden, Michael Young, who had faced him, and this is where interleague play comes into play. He faced Trevor Hoffman 2 weeks ago in interleague play. And all of a sudden, he got a chance to see him a couple times, and he dials in on him, and he's able to take advantage of interleague baseball and come up with a big hit in the All-Star game.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about before the game was the dominance of the American League pitching, the depth of that roster, the depth of the pitching staff, and that ultimately played out in this game because after Halladay and Rogers bent a little bit early, each gave up a run, they shut them down. The American League pitchers shut the National League down and gave them a chance to come back and win the game late. And ultimately, the offense got it done, but the pitching was the key.
It's odd that in Pittsburgh, historically, because number 1 closer all-time in saves is Lee Smith, number 2 all-times is Trevor Hoffman. The last 2 All-Star games at Pittsburgh, those 2 guys have blown saves in the 9th inning. Pittsburgh, burial of big-time closers, although Mariano Rivera with another save wouldn't differ. So plenty more to talk about of this exciting finish in this 2006 All-Star game. The American League keeps it going a decade and counting now as they beat the National League with 2 in the 9th, 3-2. More from Pittsburgh coming later.
Yeah, more from Pittsburgh, including hearing from the man who hit an 0-2 pitch from Trevor Hoffman to win the MVP, and he squeezed the last out. That's Michael Young. We head back to Pittsburgh, as Boomer said, and a brave young boy's dream to meet his hero, Jeff Gordon. SportsCenter's My Wish series puts a very special child in the driver's seat of car number 24. That's next.
Founded by 16 aircraft engineers. Their spirit lives on. The turbocharged Saab 9.3 sports sedan with an estimated 31 miles per gallon highway. Once you've built jets, you don't build just another car. Saab, born from jets. Take flight in the 9.3 sports sedan for under $27,000.
Hot Fudge Brownie Blast, new at Sonic. The great taste of real brownies and warm hot fudge together in a frozen chocolatey Sonic treat. Try one tonight because Sonic is open till at least midnight.
You need a hand with that gear?
I got it.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you crying?
No.
There's no crying. There's no crying and shipping. My foreman, Larry Leggett, snapped a hamstring, hauling car batteries up 6 flights. Did he cry?
No.
No. And you know why? Because there is no crying and shipping. Now you pick that up, and you get out there, and you ship.
DHL, delivering America's pastime on time.
What's more impressive, scoring 81 points or scoring 20?
How could you not give Kobe Bryant the MVP, man? 81 points? When's the last time you saw that?
I saw it on Sportscenter, and I couldn't believe it.
81 points?
20 points in 4 minutes.
He was money from the inside, he was money from the outside.
Kid was money from the perimeter.
Knocking him down like bang, bang, bang. It was the greatest moment of the year.
It's the greatest moment of the year.
The best stories of the year, all told in one night.
The ESPY, Sunday at 9 p.m. on ESPN, presented by GMC and...
Yeah! Woohoo! Who's fast? I'm fast.
Yes! Bang! Gotcha!
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you work here?
Yeah! I started back in April with, no.
Look, please don't make me leave. My company only has DSL.
Make your office more productive with speeds up to twice as fast as DSL, McAfee security included free, and 24-hour support. Comcast Workplace. Speed, security, know-how.
Agent 24/7. Come.
New Prudential real estate signs.
Now with Yahoo, very powerful. You'll need to reload.
More than usual.
Our exclusive relationship with Yahoo Real Estate has produced this. Now you can show your home sellers how many buyers are looking in their neighborhood, in their price range.
Even viewing their home online.
The future of real estate is in your hands.
Prudential Real Estate and Yahoo together. The future of real estate now.
Breakdown, brought to you by McDonald's.
Back in Pittsburgh with 2 out and 2 on, Texas's Michael Young wins it for the American League with a 2-run triple. He's the MVP, and he's with our Tim Kirkjian.
Michael, the American League hasn't lost the All-Star game in 10 years. Was a part of you saying, I am not going to make the last out in this game?
Well, when you're facing Trevor Hoffman, the last thing you want to do is be kind of clouding your thoughts with those kind of things. It's already tough enough. So, you know, once I got to an 0-2 count, I was just thinking battle, find a way to make some contact, and give myself a shot.
Any explanation for the dominance the American League has had, not just in interleague play, but in the All-Star game?
I have no explanation. I mean, National League obviously has an incredibly talented team, especially now with so many young guys coming up and doing so well over there. So I have no explanation. All I know is we're happy to win, and I know someone in our clubhouse can be happy come October.
In your wildest dreams as a kid, did you ever think I'm going to get a 2-out hit in the All-Star game off one of the greatest closers of all time?
That's obviously the moment, I mean, every kid dreams of. I hate to sound corny, but it's true, you know. I'm excited right now, you know. That was a great moment for me. I saw how excited the guys were to win that game, and you know, we made it a point coming in that we were trying to go out and win. And even though Hoffman's on the mound, obviously it's tough. Paul and Troy had huge at-bats to even give me a shot out there, so they deserve just as much credit as I do.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, thank you.
Back to you.
Tim, thank you very much, and congratulations to Michael Young, All-Star MVP, who has played for the Texas Rangers. Julio Franco, he played for everyone. We could put his name up for any decade that you wanted. And again, we mentioned Blaylock, who wasn't the MVP, was Garrett Anderson a couple of years ago, but Blaylock had the hit off Gagne, off another superior closer in the National League. So let's go, Steve, to Michael Young's at bat. You know, these Rangers, they have some gritters, don't they?
Well, they do. And Michael Young is one of the best hitters at going the other way. Last year, he and Derek Jeter had the most hits to the opposite field. And again, they're among the league leaders this year. In this at bat, he fell behind 0-2. And against Trevor Hoffman, you have to have the ability to stay back. He doesn't throw very hard, but that changeup is phenomenal. And you have to protect against that with 2 strikes. We saw Michael Young stay back. Hoffman missed his spot. He tried to go away with a fastball. It came down and in. He inside out, kept his hands inside the ball, drove it to right field. A great piece of hitting, the right guy in the right spot for the American League.
Well, Michael Young's a hidden treasure. I mean, we talk a lot about the new young talent in baseball, and it's mostly been talk about National League players. But this is a guy who signed a 4-year deal in Texas for a small amount, $10 million, something like that, where they locked him up. And they're going to give him a chance to play at a young age. And this guy has, we talk about Jeter, A-Rod, and Nomar, and those guys at the shortstop mold. He is one of those shortstops in the league, and he went and played second base tonight and can do it. You know, another star stepping up. And the game of baseball is rich right now. You got some great young players. It's an exciting time in baseball.
It is, and this game played out so well for the National League. You know, you guys talked about the power pitching of the American League, you know, with Mariano Rivera and Liriano and Cabrera or Santana and all those guys. But you know what? The National League dialed up some pretty good heat this evening themselves. And all started with Brad Penny blowing away the first 3 hitters. He gave up the home run to Vlad Guerrero. But, you know, Tom Gordon, you're talking about a lot of power coming out. And here's Brad Penny. I mean, he threw one breaking ball to Ichiro, and then he said, you know what? That one ain't working. I'm just going to start dialing up some heat. And then Roy Oswalt does the same thing. You see him right here get Magno Ordonez. Fuentes comes in and throws one by Grady Sizemore. I mean, these guys had no chance. Then Tom Gordon comes in, 93 pass Maurer. I mean, it was all set up for a power game for the National League. And then when Trevor Hoffman comes in, you know he's not going to go throw it by anyone. The American League hitters had to be licking their chops saying, okay, no more 95 to 98. We're going to get 85 to 87, and we're going to tee off on this stuff, and that's exactly what they did. We were talking about it during the game. If Trevor comes in after them guys seeing all this fastballs, they're going to have some good at-bats against Trevor, and that's what they did. That's how they won the game.
And it's almost like turning the clock back. I mean, years ago, it used to be the National League was a power league, and the American League, you hit junk. And you know what? That's what it turned out tonight.
Exactly what it was today.
You feel for Trevor Hoffman, who's been a member of this All-Star team, I believe it's 5 times, and has never come through against the AL. And you know that he's such a good guy, such a classy player, and an excellent player. And he feels worse than anything else. A veteran guy in the National League who's experienced the losses. Breakout for a couple of the Mets and Beltran and Wright. But oh, by the way, even though Ozzie downplayed the White Sox, they didn't get in there as much. Konerko, oh, by the way, late, couple of hits, you know, started things going. That's why they're the champs. That's why they got home field, if it is indeed they, to get into the series. We've got more from Pittsburgh. A beautiful evening, beautiful night in downtown Pittsburgh. Yay.
Our SportsCenter My Wish series continues with this little all-star who got a huge thrill, the ride of a lifetime with his idol, Jeff Gordon. Our wish is you buckle up for SportsCenter's My Wish.
Would the world look different if you had the eyes of Paul Rodriguez? Would ledges and rails that have faded in the background secretly reveal themselves to you? Would you have the vision to liberate them from the architect's intentions? And if you did, would this view of the world change you? Or would it change the world? X Games 12, August 3rd through the 6th, live on ESPN and ABC, presented by Edge Active Care.
My new razor with
I hope I said that right. I'm Matt Tucker. Welcome to America.
Oh, your Chinese is good.
I worked on it all morning.
Century 21. Oh, that's funny. The water doesn't work. Neither does the ice dispenser.
Point taken. Get the latest innovations in appliances from brands like GE, Maytag, and LG, all at the Home Depot. Right now, get up to a $200 Home Depot gift card with your appliance purchase. The more you spend, the more you save.
The Home Depot.